Story 1. How do I, 30M, tell my best friend, 31M, that I'm going on a trip with his friends and he's not invited? How do I attempt to address the reason why? So I'm in a bit of a tricky spot. My best friend has a drinking problem, which he's aware of, and so is everyone around him. Unfortunately, he hasn't made any real efforts to address it, and that's been causing some issues I wasn't fully aware of until this past holiday season. Over time, I've also become friends with his friend group, and it's become clear that he's not thrilled about how well we get along. I totally understand why he might feel that way. His friends and I share a love for the outdoors, and naturally, that bond has grown. With Memorial Day coming up, his friends invited me to go camping, but specifically told me not to invite my best friend. They had a serious talk with him about his drinking last Christmas when he got kicked out of their holiday party, and I guess they're still not comfortable with the idea of having him join. Now, I'm feeling conflicted. I've already decided to go on the trip, but the diplomat in me wants to soften the blow for him, so he doesn't feel like I'm replacing him in their group. That's really not the case, as we've developed our own relationship over the years, but I still want to be sensitive to his feelings. The problem is that I can't invite him myself. It's not my trip, and I'm not the one calling the shots. So, I'm trying to figure out how to address this with him. How do I explain that the reason he's not invited is because his drinking is still an issue, and they just don't want to deal with the potential drama from last time? I care about him a lot and wish he could come, but ultimately, this isn't my decision to make. Any advice on how to approach this conversation without making him feel like I'm betraying him would be really helpful. Comment 1. Handle it gently but truthfully. Real friends call out harmful behavior, even when it's uncomfortable. Comment 2. I get that he's your best friend, but why are you taking the responsibility of telling him he's not invited even though it's your not trip? They are as much friends with him as you are and could reference to his drinking problem just as much to being the reason why he's not going. Comment 3. Recovering addict/alcoholic here. I know you said in another comment that it would feel bad to realize that all your friends went away without you, and you don't want your friend to feel like that. But here's the thing. He needs to feel that. He won't hit rock bottom and stop drinking for real until drinking feels worse than not drinking. He won't stop until he faces some kind of real consequence. If you try to tell him ahead of time, that gives him, his addiction, a place to turn you, and the other guys into a bunch of big meanies who just want to cramp his style and won't even give him a chance. I don't know you guys, but I struggle to imagine any scenario where that conversation ends well. If you just quietly take a trip without mentioning it, maybe he'll find out and realize, oh dang, they're really not going to deal with my bullshit anymore. Maybe he won't. But managing his feelings about it is truly none of your business. Story 2. I 20M asked my 21F girlfriend why she's been saying no to sex recently. Over the past 2 weeks, we haven't been having much sex, and today she said no. I asked her, as calmly as I could, why she said no. My exact wording was something like, when you say no to sex, what's usually the reason? I'm just curious. She responded by saying she doesn't need to give a reason, which I totally respect. I tried to explain that I was only asking because I was genuinely curious if it was something I should be concerned about, as this is a bit unusual for us. I wasn't upset or frustrated, just wondering what might be going on. But then, after I had let the question go, she said that my asking was against consent. I tried to reassure her that I wasn't upset about her saying no, just that I was curious since we haven't been intimate recently. I said this calmly, not aggressively, but she kept repeating that it was wrong for me to ask. I got really frustrated because my intention was completely harmless and not to make her feel pressured in any way. I always stop any advances when she says no, and that's exactly what I did here too. In hindsight, how could I have approached this more respectfully? Comment 1. She's being immature and ridiculous. You did nothing wrong. Expect more of this kind of overreaction crap from her in the future. She's not mature enough to have a normal conversation. I dump her. And I say this as a woman. Comment 2. To be honest, I also kinda want to know if I have done something wrong, but I don't think that's allowed in the subreddit. Mods, if you see this, please just delete this message, not the entire post. Story 3. Is it okay that I, 32F, started charging my ex, 35M, for going out every Saturday? My ex-partner, 35M, and I, 32F, are in a difficult living situation. We share a child and still live in the same home despite being broken up, as he refuses to move out. This makes effective co-parenting nearly impossible. He has made it a routine to go out every Saturday for several hours to socialize and have fun. While I don't object to him having a social life, I do take issue with the expectation that I will stay home every Saturday and provide childcare for our child while he enjoys himself. Unfortunately, our work schedules don't allow for a fair exchange. When he has days off during the week, I typically have to work the following day. My weekends are my only days off, and he consistently uses Saturdays for his outings, leaving me with our child. Since he is consistently going out on my day off and I'm unable to do the same on his, I've started charging him for looking after our child on Saturdays. My reasoning is that it's only fair, as I have to pay for a babysitter whenever I want to go out. I'm wondering if this is an appropriate way to handle the situation. Comment 1. I don't understand why you can't co-parent now. If you can't co-parent while living together, it's not going to change once he moves out. If you guys haven't actually sat down and hammered out a schedule of some kind, responsibilities and expectations, then you need to do that. Comment 2. Why does he live in your house? Evict him and get custody and child support sorted out. Comment 3. In one of your comments you say, I can afford to live anywhere, but another comment you say, I can't afford to evict him through the courts. To me, it sounds like you're being possessive of him despite him being your ex. You don't want him to go out. You still live with him even though you don't have to. And now you want to charge him, which would make it even harder for him to separate from you. Both of your priorities are completely messed up. I feel sorry for your child. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.